I'd love to help you keep at your goals, your routines, your habits, the things that are really important to you. The first area that I'd love to help in is when you're stressed, busy. Life is throwing lots at you. Life is very demanding, and that can be right now. And what tends to be forgotten? The things that are important to us. Prioritizing ourselves, our commitments, our health practices, our routines, the things that we really love to do, but life is having other demands for us, let's say. So this first practice really helps when you're busy. I want you to grab your phone, and I will be showing just an iPhone today. I don't have an Android, but I'm pretty sure they have the calendar. So you want to open your calendar on your phone, and in the top right on an iPhone, I'm pretty sure it's bottom right if you have an Android, that will open a new event. Under title, put in your habit, your goal, your routine, the thing that you want to stay consistent with. Let's just say for today it is go for my walk. Then you will put under start, what's the time that you want to get this done? Is it morning? Is it evening? Is it multiple times during the day? Let's just say for this one, I'm going to put 9 a.m. Okay. Don't really worry about when it ends. I never really put that, to be honest. So let's say it's 9 a.m. Cool. When does this repeat? This is quite cool because now you don't have to set this every day. You don't need to go into your calendar every day. You can put every day. And you can even customize this where you do it every other day, or it's really how many times in the week you want to do this habit. Okay, so we put the repetition, and then this is the most important part. We go down to alert, and under at time of event, or at time of event, click that. That's really important because now, during that time, or at that time, as you see, it's just popped onto my phone, you'll get an alert to do the thing. And you're probably thinking, wow, Josh, you've just explained to me how a calendar works. But the main thing with this is, when you're busy, when life is coming at you, like I said at the start, we tend to forget. It tends to be in the back of our mind, but it's not a priority. So let's say you're busy. Let's say you are just around the house, things are happening, people are around, you're forgetting everything to do with yourself, and then that alarm coming onto your phone. You're wondering, what is that? And what happens? Remember to walk. Remember to do your stretches. Hey, time to hydrate. Have something with protein in, whatever your goal is. What was forgotten about is now suddenly in your forefront of your mind, your prefrontal cortex. Now we remember. Often it's a case of a trigger, a cue, something to remind you, something to remind your brain during times of chaos that, hey, yes, life is demanding, but remember to do the thing. Remember to do this thing that is important to you. And that trigger in my own life, time and time again, whatever I'm doing, maybe I'm like this and the trigger goes off, have some water. So true, I haven't drinking water today. You stop what you're doing, have some water, stop going for a walk, do your exercises, whatever it is. That trigger halts you and remembers to yourself, this is important to me. And it's amazing how efficient that little practice is. So the first tip, the first practice during times of chaos is to set that little alert on your phone, and that will remind you, oh, okay, remember to do the thing. So we've discussed how to take action during times of chaos. But let's say everything's okay, life is pretty smooth, but it's when you're sitting on the sofa, it's when you've just got up in the morning, it's when you're tired, it's when you've just finished work, it's when you've been spending the day with your family, and you have that resistance, the resistance to do it. There's like an invisible block in the way, from thought, invisible block, to taking action. And that's what I would love to help with this section. So this is what I call the gap. The gap is a place where I'm sure we could all resonate. What lies between the thought of, I want to stretch, I want to do my walking, or I should do this cooking, I need to do the thing. And the gap is the space between thought and then doing it. And what I would love to share is a strategy to reduce the time you spend here. Because the longer you stay in the gap between between thought and doing it, the harder it is. Remember, momentum moves both ways. If you start moving, we gather momentum. If you stay still, we lose momentum. So we want to create as much momentum as possible in the correct direction. So to Create less time in this space. I want you to have that thought, and then I want you to count down at least maximum 15 seconds, but try for 5 seconds. So let's say it's the thing. I'm just getting up in the morning. I really don't want to get out for my walk. It's raining, it's cold. I have the thought. The longer I stay in the gap, the harder it's going to be to do the thing. Count myself down 5. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take the first step. I'm on the sofa. My favorite show's just come on. I've promised myself to do the stretching. It's getting a bit too late. The longer I stay in the gap, the harder it's going to be to do the thing. Okay, count myself down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What's the first step? Place my feet on the floor, put my mat out, and we could go on and on. But when you give your brain the ultimatum and being aware of the gap, when you're in the gap, being aware when you're in that space. I remember Josh's post. I'm in the gap right now. The longer I stay here, the harder it is to do the thing. Awareness is the first step to change. And then from this point, give yourself an ultimatum. Count down. The brain loves to be told what to do in an aggressive way. I don't know if that's the right word, but we want to tell it, hey, this is what we're going to do in 5 seconds, in 10 seconds, in 15 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then what's the first step? Not look at the whole routine, look at the whole walking, the whole cooking. What's the first step I have to take? Put my feet down if it's on the sofa. Lay the first ingredients out if it's cooking. Put my shoes on if it's heading for a walk. Once you see that first step, it becomes less overwhelming. So be aware of the gap, give yourself an ultimatum, and ask, what's the first step to this thing? And the final part I'd love to help in is when you're ready to quit. You're ready to throw in the towel. For whatever reason, you are just ready. I am done with this. During this time, I want you to not think about the what or the hows of the practice of the routine of your goal. The what's in the sense of, what do I need to do to start? What amount of reps do I have to do for this exercise? How am I going to cook this meal? What ingredients do I need? What do I need for this walk? What route am I going to take? Forget about the what's and the hows. Bring it back to the starting point of the why. Why is this thing important to me? Or why was this thing important to me before I thought about quitting? Relay back to you. Scribble down on a piece of paper. Have a chat with someone. Whatever you can do to remind yourself of the importance behind this goal. And I always use an analogy of going on a car journey. The what's and the hows can definitely get you there. And they represent the GPS. Okay, I put in the location, the what's and the hows, that will take me to the destination. But you need something to start the car right. The why is what starts the engine. It's the spark that starts everything off. And then the what's and the hows will follow after that. So think about that. What's your spark? What's the why behind my exercise routine, my strength training that I'm ready to give up? Okay, what is the why? Well, the original reason was to have the strength, the capacity, the energy to play with my grandchildren. And it was also for myself to overcome my recent surgery and to feel strong and to feel like me. And what that will do is spark something in your limbic brain. Your limbic brain is governed by emotions, intrinsic motivation, decision making. And when you're reminding yourself of the reason or the couple of reasons, the deep why, what happens? It's like starting the engine. It sparks something. It starts the emotional wheel of, okay, hang on a minute. This is important to me. The strength training I'm ready to give up, maybe it's not quite time yet. Again, creating emotion. What's the why? Forgetting the what's and the hows. Why do I want to eat healthy? Why have I gone on this cooking every night, homemade food journey? Well, I did have that illness. I do want more energy. I want to improve my health markers. And I wanted to have the energy and the recovery tools and the materials so I can keep independent, so I can keep up my sports, so I can be with my family, but also for myself to just feel like a ball of energy every day. Again, not looking at what meals do I have to cook? How am I going to cook those meals? They're important. They're definitely important. They're part of the car journey. But the why behind the cooking, behind the eating healthy, is now again sparked emotion in the limbic brain, and now we're going on this little ripple effect of, I remember why I started this in the first place. Maybe it's not time to give up. Okay, I actually feel a bit more, in it now. I have more buy-in. I've got a bit more skin in the game because I've reminded myself, actually, the why is what's carrying me, and I need to remember that why. So the last part is, if you're ready to quit, forget about the what's and the how's and look at the why. And I think that will create a spark within you, an emotional charge to remind you this goal is important to me. I'm going to stick with it. I really hope these tools come in handy, and if you wanted to watch another video, if you've got a spare 10 minutes, YouTube will recommend this one here. Let me know what you think of that. And if you'd love to subscribe, I'll leave my little face here, and I would love you for that, as there'll be many more videos like this, and I'm trying to get way more consistent on YouTube. Appreciate your time as always. Hope today helped.